This is lesson 4 of lockdowny type thoughts about piano, about you've got it out of the box, you're new to it, you're old, you hate piano. This is our 4th lesson. If you haven't seen the other ones, it might make more sense to go back and watch those. My name is Jack Duxbury. Hello and welcome to Andertons TV. I'm allowed a person in the room but far away. His name is Tay. Yeah. And in this video, I'm going to show you what I did there at the beginning, which I'm thinking is more of embellishments and evolutions on what we've already learned. Let's go. Quick recap, what have we learned? We learned that all the white notes work together and they're super good friends. We learnt that we can close our eyes, put our pedal down and play any combo. And that was fun, that was our first one. Our second one was putting that into more of a structure with our eyes open, learning where C was, which was, we've got a group of 3 black notes, group of 2 black notes, you'll see that pattern repeated. And whenever you have the group of 2 notes, the one immediately adjacent to the left is C. That's where they are, it repeats itself, you'll get used to it. But what we can do is when we put our thumb on there and we made this shape, paired with our left hand doing the same note that our thumb's playing, we learned that that shape just walks up. We learned we can do it if we do it soft and loud, it sounds a bit cooler. We can spread it out. In the last one before this is a bit like a dodgy Netflix series where you like skip recap and you're like, I wish I had that button. I get it, but we need to recap or we don't learn these things, all right? Do we, Tay? We don't learn these things if we don't recap. We did my idea of intervals, so just the gaps between notes. How do we get those in our ears without having to explain theory? There was 2 ways. One, we could put our 3rd finger on that C and we could work down with our other little stubby fingers here and get the sound in our head either at the same time or separately, one after the other. Let's do that. And then we could go up if I put our thumb there. We even could drop a chord because this shape that we had, we know we can sustain it with our foot, so we'd go. And then we did our first inversion, which was we took this chord, dropped this G down to here, and got this open sound. That's where we're at. Sorry if you had to sit through that. We do all the posh, Taylor's killing it with the chapter stuff, so you could have even skipped that. Getting back to what we're doing this week, the first thing I said we could do, we're going to embellish this because we've got something now, but you're probably hopefully feeling good about it, and you want to tie it up a bit. So we've got our first shape here. We are going to embellish this, and the easiest way I think about this is we're going to, I used to call it, I'm really thinking on the fly here with these lessons, but I used to call it the squib squib. And when you hear a lot of modern music, Hendrix, any neo-soul, Norah Jones is a king of the squib squib. And all it is this. I'll tell you what the squib squib is, all right? He's singing it. Squib, 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 squib. And if you go and listen to Jimi Hendrix when he's doing his stuff, or John Mayer, he'll play a G chord. You hear that all the time, right? I call it the squib squib. I later learned that it's like slip note technique from the Nashville guys. And it's just a sound that I think it's really good to learn very quickly. On guitar, it's like when you walk up and you do Hendrix hammer-ons. If you play guitar, anyway. This is what we're gonna learn. But it's cool, it's really simple because our hand's in the right place. We've got this shape. Now, the same action that we're gonna put down, we're gonna move our thumb just up one white note to this D. And just practice that first. So it's got a different sound. All we're gonna do is we're gonna drop and make sure all these three fingers are gonna hit at the same time. That's the C, the D, and the G. They're gonna hit at the same time. And I showed you what we're gonna do next, which is they hit and then it's like this, squib, squib. I think that's why I call it the squib. It's like a squib, squib, squib. This comes down after, a bit like using chopsticks or something. It's just an action you get used to. Toom, toom. These hit. Hear those two, and then I'll do it really slow. You can, any combination of that, but that's the squib. That's cooler, right, than this. Lame. Lame Impala. So we've done a little squib. Now, squibs can happen in two places. This may be mad. I hope that it makes sense though. With this C chord we've got where we were, this is our first squib. Starts with our thumb on the G. Now you can go up for this or go down. I like to squib down. That second squib is we're making the same shape we did here with the D. We're going to move this all down. Try, keep your hands still. If not, don't worry. We're going to move our third finger to C, our thumbs on G, and then our little squibby note is going to be this A here. Now here, sometimes I hold them all together. Sometimes I go these two and then you just hear the little squib note on its own. That's personal preference. You will fall into it. Don't stress about it. Whichever one you fall on first is probably the right one for now. So let's do the two squibs. Okay, hopefully that made sense. All I'm doing is picking that I'm learning to spot. This is what I'm thinking, right? I'm going, I know that this third finger has to be on the G for my first squib. That's how I think about it. You could probably think about it, my thumb needs to be on there. Just choose which one that works for you. And then I spot it like a trampolinist doing a spin, and I'm looking for the C, and all I've got to do is get that to the C. Move it down to the G. Move it down to the C. Looking for two like sighting points in my backflip so that I don't fall on my ass. That's how I'm thinking about it. Now, before we link the squib, we can do the squib on any degree of these white notes. So on any white note. Let's go for this shape. So we've just moved it up. I'm going to build the squib. I'm going to move my thumb up one note, and I've got this. Now, how do I explain the movement of the squib? So, that's all I'm doing is moving the same relationships to the notes all up. I'm not really, there's no theory involved in it in my head. How to communicate this and teach this to you is new to me. So let's move our whole world up to here. It's the same relationship of notes. If I'm down here in C, I'm thinking, right, I tuck this up one. This third finger moves to where my thumb was. Now if I apply the same logic, here's the chord. Tuck this up one. I move this third finger down to where my thumb was. Back to. Now with the pedal down, let's hear what that sounds like. Okay, now sounds a bit pedestrian. A great way to start with it is to play your first chord, second chord, and you'll hear this handbags and glad rags, the guys rinsing the squib squib at the beginning, okay? Ways to link it a little bit. Here's what, this might be a bit too much, right? But between these two squibs, we can go squib, squib, squib. And it creates this movement, right? And you hear it in loads of stuff. Guitar, neo-soul guitar players all the time, squib, 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 everywhere. This is what they're doing. This is when guys are playing like neo-soul stuff. Okay, this is what we're doing. I know that sounds crazy if you're a beginner, but we're doing it. You're doing it. If you're doing this, you're doing it right now. We want to link it. What am I doing? I'm going to start with the same squib where we started before. Now, after I've hit that, I'm going to play two notes. And I do it like that. Thumb over index. And then I play my next squib. Same pattern. Because the squib squib works with all the white notes. Let's go up to G. I'm going to do that again because I want to do it slowly and for you to get it at least in that first C. So we've got this. We've got our inversion of C. We know how to squib. We're looking for that original inversion, moving my thumb up and going. And we know that if we spot that down to the C with our third finger and move across the octaves, because this is what's beautiful, starts you linking the octaves together. But we now know that we go that's all we're doing. That's the melody we're playing, but it sounds like this with the pedal down. Move that up to the F. Now, I tried to make it work with all the white notes there. I had to kind of know a little bit about that the B flat was going to work, but don't stress. Let's just stay, don't want you to even stress about that. It stressed me out then. Oh, yuck. Let's just do it with a C. I move the same thing up to G. We can do it with the minor chords. Just try squibbing everywhere. Just squib all over. Get that down. That's the thing to practice. Because all that speed comes from sacking off these fingers. Everyone's going to get cross at me. These are redundant. Have you ever tried doing anything with these? What do you do with this? Oh, I'm going to pick up my Leo. Oh. And you're trying to play piano with it? Oh, guess what? Oh, opposable thumbs. Picked it up easy. Stop stressing. Piano teachers, when I was a kid, they were always going, come on, work on this, Jeff. And I'm like, oh. Lame. I learned all this strength. No, as soon as I sacked these off, I got gigs. So you do the same. Everyone's going to be crossing me, going, how dare. But come on, these are strong. In most people, use them. we've done a squib. Maybe that's too much, but I promise an evolution. And an evolution, to me, is something I've taught in another video, which is how to play C major. I did it ages ago, but I'm going to touch on it really quick because I think you're going to absorb it very quickly. We know where C is. We've done our squib. We've got our inversion. In where that inversion is, here's a really nice evolution to that inversion, which is these two notes are going to stay the same, G and C. Now, instead of this E, I want you to put your middle finger on D. Stretch your pinky up. Again, if you're all bunched up like this, move over. I do this all the time, right? Now, instead of moving this, all we're going to do is move our left hand and play different notes, and every note will work. Check it out. Pretty cool, right? Sound you hear a lot on the radio. I'm not going to go too much into it. Go check out the other video where I explain a bit more about how to move it around. We've got these 3 chord shapes now, all doing the same thing. This is C. This is C. To me, this is C. And we now have a squib. And one little thing I did in that intro that I'm gonna throw out there, if this is all too much and you want me to break it down, please tell me in the comments and I'll go slower. I'm just speaking off the top, rocking off the top of my head. Is we've got the squib. The squib, in between these two, we're probably going to introduce our first black note, Tato. It's an exciting day. And we're not even going to play it, we're just going to kiss it. Because I believe that when they made the piano, if you look at the black note on whatever you've got there, especially if it's one of these weighted, like 88 key actions, even if it's not properly weighted, everyone's freaking out about the Casio. I don't understand. This is so reasonable, this piano. There's nothing stopping me playing it. Maybe I'm outspoken, but there's a lot of conjecture about the fact that this isn't weighted properly. Doesn't feel like it to me. Anyway, these black notes, what am I getting at, Jet? There are little nubbins on the side of them. And you see they're rounded off? I think they were made for the squib squib. Years ago, Mozart was like, so I'll tell you what, this is lame. And he was probably squib-squibbing, and then some people went, oh, I'm not going to give you any money, Mozart, if you do that, because I'm a bit like restrained in my conservative ways. And he just wanted to go like this. Oh, you're starting to get some movement. Now, how am I doing that? We've done the squib. All I'm thinking is, when I'm hitting this E, is I'm aiming, see I'm flicking it there. I'm just aiming to hit that little round nubbin. Because then it gets hard, right? You're just... Suddenly it's a bit more Norah Jonesy, right? So we've got this new evolution. Right, what am I doing? I'm squibbing, hitting that, but I'm also sometimes squibbing down. And when I move to our next position, hey, little friend in there again. Because you know that little thing where I said link it? So I do a squib down, and then squib into that melody. So making sense? And then maybe I'll do some licks. I'll just do a lick video next time. Let me know. You've all been so nice. Thanks. And I hope this is sinking in. I'm going to play us out using a mixture of everything we've done, hopefully sequentially. Can I pull it off? I don't know. Tay-Tay's definitely pulling it off with the editing. If you like what we're doing, consider subscribing. If you don't, we learn from the hate. Appreciate. See you guys.